go, starting us off this week in the reality of wrestling. Here comes Rudy Garza, accompanied by Dex. Dex with 2 X's, by the way. The Renegades of Wrestling going into 2021, looking up. This group has been nothing but dominant since we've seen them in the reality of wrestling. The only thing that has eluded them is championship gold, and Rudy Garza has an opportunity to win some here this evening as he goes out for the reality of wrestling television championship. Renegades always making sure that they have the numbers game on their side. I know we've said that a lot here on this broadcast, but it's very, very much true. Having Dex back there gives you not only that emotional support, but that physical support as well if things aren't going your way.
The stone don't crumble. Yeah. Let's go.
And here comes one stone that does not crumble. The reality of wrestling television champion, Edge Stone. Edge Stone has been nothing but dominant ever since he won that championship and defeated the mysterious Q. And now he is going into 2021, hopefully, with that belt still securely around his waist. Rudy Garza, the undersized competitor. Look at Edge Stone. Just look at Edge Stone. I mean, this man is a mountain. He is a monster. From New Orleans, Louisiana, it's where he trained, coming down here to Texas, making that move, making the pilgrimage, as we say, as Isaac Bouillon calls for the opening bell here. And our final show of the year that we all would like to forget, 2020. And there's the numbers game coming into play early. Dex looking eye to eye with Edge Stone. Rudy Garza trying to get an advantage on him, but look at that. Look at that. Catches Rudy Garza in midair, just throws him back. Edge Stone is a man taking care of business, TCB, like the King Elvis Presley. Oh man, and a big shot to the rib cage. And those are manos de piedra. Those are hands of stone right there. Those might crack a couple ribs. Look at that, and Edge Stone just having his way with Rudy Garza, and you almost feel bad, you almost feel bad for Rudy Garza in this predicament. Edge Stone trying to get him now back up. Really, the ball is in his court. Going for a power bomb. Rudy Garza shifting his weight. Edge Stone has him up. Some right hands into a hurricanrana, sending him to the outside. The big man landing on his feet, but a desperation attempt from Rudy Garza. And there goes Big Dex. Big Dex with that lariat. That lariat. There is that man. Rudy Garza now taking advantage of the outside interference from Big Dex. Big Dex keeping his eye on Isaac Bouillon. I saw that he might be caught in the light. It was looking a little sus. And Rudy Garza now just desperately trying to get the big man back in the ring. Arguing with the referee, breaking up the count. Very smart strategy. And Dex needs to get careful. He might get Rudy Garza disqualified here if he's not careful enough. Rudy Garza going for the pin. 1, 2. Kick out after about 1 3/4. from Edge Stone, and Rudy Garza knows that might have been his only opportunity, and now just 100% throwing his entire body weight at him. Right hands raining down, a body splash. What is Rudy Garza's going up now to the second rope, or using that top rope for a little bit of leverage and bringing the knees down into the rib cage of Edge Stone. And look at that, just choking the big man. Cover, one, and another kick out real early there after one. There we go, Edge Stone now getting back into this one. And if Edge Stone wins this match and retains his championship, he will be a part of a fatal four-way match at Christmas Chaos to determine that television champion. Got him in the power slam position now. Oh, and a chalk block to the left knee. Getting Edge Stone down. And Dex going for that clothesline again, but a discus clothesline. Turning Edge Stone inside out. Oh! Enziguri from Rudy Garza, and this might be his opportunity. The distraction on the outside from Dex could have given Rudy Garza the needed rest that he had to get, and there it is. That Hurricanrana faceplant cover. 1, 2. Do we have a new champion? Kick out at 2.5 from Edge Stone. And here we go! 1, 2, 3. Edge Stone, still the television champion, and he is going into Christmas Chaos to defend that championship in a fatal four-way marquee main event. That Stone will not rumble.
For over 13 years, the King of Solar Screens has been an industry leader, and we proudly use 100% American-made products. Home of the $55 any size, any color solar screen.
Well, what about arches?
$55.
What about circles?
$55.
What about rectangles?
$55.
Any size, any color, installed free. The King of Solar Screens, on time, every time.
Now can you dig that, sucker?
And the action continues on. Who will be in that fatal four-way for the Reality of Wrestling Television Championship? We started off with the champion and a successful defense, and now here comes a former champion, the franchise, as he's been called, the Mysterious Q. Q has been a backbone of this organization since 2012. He competed in the main event of many a Christmas Chaos, the main event of Summer of Champions 1 and 2, holding this company's highest prize above his head. And now Q looks to walk into yet another Christmas chaos and become a champion once again. But tonight, he's going to have to go against a former champ himself. And there comes the Lone Ranger of the Road, a former Reality of Wrestling television champion, a former Reality of Wrestling champion and one of the longest reigning ever. Here comes Bryan Keith. No doubt about it, Bryan Keith had a tremendous 2019 and 2020, holding that Reality of Wrestling championship for a very, very long time and defending it against some of the best that this company has ever had to offer. And Bryan Keith looks to get back on the horse, if you will, and go out there and find himself in a fatal four-way match for the Reality Wrestling Television Championship, a title which he won at the final heat back in 2015 by leaping from the top of a steel cage onto the bear, ruthless Ryan Davidson, the current Reality Wrestling champion. The same man that he later on beat again for the Reality Wrestling Championship. Bryan Keith fights for not only himself, but for his family. A proud father of young girls who look up to their dad, who go through it with their dad. Q fights for nobody but himself. Selfish, arrogant. But they're both fighting for the same thing at the end of the day, and that is the Reality of Wrestling Television Championship, an opportunity at that illustrious title. Let's not forget, if you look back in the annals and time of professional wrestling, that television championship has been one of the crowning jewels for a man in his career. After Booker T had a successful run as a part of a tag team with Harlem Heat, the first singles championship that he ever wore. One of the things about working at Reality of Wrestling is you have at least seen your competitor before when you've been a veteran in this locker room for going on a decade. These two have met each other once upon a time. They are not strangers to one another, but really their paths always in Reality of Wrestling have been parallel. Tonight they're perpendicular. Tonight, one has to beat the other in order to get what they want. They are on the same journey with the same prize in mind. Bryan Keith working on that arm with the Mysterious Q, and Mysterious Q, upper forearm, almost an elbow to the face of Bryan Keith, and then proclaiming, that's right. Oh, fastest kicks in the South, though. When you got those, you're always in the ball game. Spinning back fist misses from Q. Over a double axe handle there. Misses from Q again. Kick to the midsection. Bryan Keith maybe using a little bit too much time there. Absolutely did. Q going for a drop kick. Bryan Keith had it scout. Oh! Beautiful drop kick there, sending Bryan Keith to the outside. Veteran-like maneuver coming out in front of the commentary table, trying to get his wits about him. But Q looking to fly. No. Q going under the bottom rope. Bryan Keith, oh, beautiful drop. This is the kind of action you see when two veterans who know one another get in there and start mixing it up. Bryan Keith rolling Q back in the inside. Cover 1, 2, and a kick out from the former champion. Bryan Keith getting back into this thing. That shin across the face of Q. And although Bryan Keith did have a very good 2020 for the first half, The back nine, however, has not been the best treatment for Bryan Keith. He found himself being the Reality Wrestling Champion, teaming with G.I. Bro earlier this year, to then losing his championship and not even really being back in the main event picture since. Cover 1, 2, that vicious drop kick to Bryan Keith's head. Bryan Keith was suffering from trauma in his Reality Wrestling Championship rematch with Ryan Davidson. Just an exchange right there, back and forth. Massive spine buster from Q. Cover 1, 2. Almost had him right there. Wow. Q is like any good predator, picking apart the body of his prey before he fully dissects them and ingests them. Wrapping those massive legs and just grapevining the neck of the Lone Ranger and then looking around at the audience in complete disdain and dismay. Q is on a cover 1, 2. Q is on a mission to prove to the Reality of Wrestling faithful and to the professional wrestling world around, taking off the wrist tape right now, that he is one of the preeminent stars in this industry. Big chop to the chest. Now European-style uppercut sending down Bryan Keith. Q's got him in the corner, putting him up on the top turnbuckle there. You gotta wonder, what is Q thinking? The only high-risk maneuver he really likes to do is either a missile dropkick or that 455 off the top rope. So maybe he's thinking about a superplex here. We're about to find out. As you see the wear on the face of Bryan Keith after taking all this offense from the franchise. And now, second rope, Q, top rope, Keith. Going for a superplex, but wait a minute. An inverted rodeo DDT from Bryan Keith. Almost a scorpion death drop from the top rope to Mysterious Q. Whether it was purposeful, whether it was by accident, whether it was through osmosis, Bryan Keith has found his way back into this match. Both men are down. The winner will go on to face Edge Stone and 2 other men in that fatal 4-way match for the Reality of Wrestling Television Championship at Christmas Chaos. Stakes cannot get any higher than they are right now. Which man will get back to a vertical base? No doubt they will have the advantage, and it looks like it's Bryan Keith by somehow, some way, like Rocky Balboa, using those ropes to climb back up to 2 feet. Oh, and catching Q off guard with a right foot to the face. Ducks under the line, and a big lariat from the Cowboy. Going for that side effect. Q battling out of it. Pinning predicament. 1, 2. Kick out after 2. Oh! There it is. Cover 1, 2. He's lassoing him up. This could be all. Kick to the gut. Rodeo DDT. Q able to jump out of it. Isaac Bouillon getting bumped there from Bryan Keith. Oh my goodness. Mysterious Q with a Q cutter to the family jewels. And there's a proper Q cutter to the Lone Ranger of the row, former champion. 1, 2, 3. Q is going to Christmas Chaos. Mysterious Q will go on. They have one more opportunity at Edge Stone for that television title, but what two men will join him? We're gonna find out. But the Q advances, and it's gonna be a happy Merry Christmas for him.
This is Booker T World Gym Arena in Texas City, the home to the Reality of Wrestling Training Center. It's a 20,000 square foot facility with more than 50 full-time students and wrestlers from around the world. Inside the World Gym Arena sits a 9,000 square foot venue set up for weekly shows.
From on top, 1-2 moonsault.
Where our students showcase their skills in front of a live audience.
What he's done here is awesome. He's created opportunity, and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
In the back, a full weight room.
6 up.
Complete with state-of-the-art equipment and personal trainers.
There you go. Two more.
A full staff and office personnel.
One more.
Running the day-to-day operation. We have interview sets for TV production, promo classes, quarterly combines. We evaluate progression and team building. Referees, commentators, ring announcers, and live television production. At the World Gym Arena, we don't just teach you how to become a professional wrestler, but an elite sports entertainer. This is Reality of Wrestling.
I've been off the scenes cause I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Don't get mad at me cause I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Do what you're supposed to do.
And here's a young man who is on the precipice of greatness. The Fly Deaf one himself, Zack. The man who rose to wrestling royalty in that one-night tournament. And now he finds himself with an opportunity to go to Christmas Chaos in a marquee main event match and get singles gold for the first time in his young career.
When I was a waiter, still don't owe you not even a favor. Still don't owe you not even $1. Bitch, you ain't popping, not even your collar. You bugging that bitch, she seem to be bothered. She calling my phone.
Zack Mason, no stranger to championships. He and his former partner Warren Johnson, one of the best tag teams we've ever had, and another man who is not foreign to championships, the professional, Brenden Steen. Business in the front, party in the back, by the looks of things. Brenden Steen says, I'm not only bringing sexy back, I'm going to bring the mullet back in 2021. Brenden Steen had a long layoff from almost a career-ending injury, to that arm of his, where he cut it profusely. Had almost irreparable damage to it. Internal bleeding, external bleeding. Body went into shock after that accident and had to take a long time off and didn't know if his arm would get back the strength that it needed, and it did, thankfully, for us here at the Reality of Wrestling. Whether you like him or not, the professional Brenden Steen one of the best competitors that we have here. And he has held that Reality of Wrestling Television Championship before. Who can forget his epic encounters and battles with Will all day? They had a match at the Summer of Champions last year that stole the show. Falls count anywhere, no disqualification match. Ended with a big swanton through a table right out in front of us. But Brenden Steen knows what it's like to win singles gold here. Zack Mason doing a little old school wrestling on the professional. Cover, 1, 2. No, about kick out after 1.5 there. Almost a 2 count, a little preemptive on my end. Off the ropes. Oh, big shoulder block.
Jersey City, baby!
Beautiful leapfrog there from Zack Mason. And I think Brenden Steen thought he was going up top. And instead, Zack Mason meets him with a knee in the midsection, catching him off guard. And now he's in the driver's seat. Oh, beautiful scoop and a slam, a display of that power. And how about that vertical leap? Cover, 1. Kick out after 1. Now stalking the professional.
How about this?
Stalking the professional. Oh! Big chop to the chest there. To the outside. Brenden Steen now throwing back Zack Mason. And the winner of this match will face the Mysterious Q, Edge Stone, and the winner of our main event at Christmas Chaos for that Reality Wrestling Television Championship. So not only are you fighting for an opportunity at the title, you're fighting for a spot on the biggest show of the year. The loser of this match, will not be seen at that illustrious event. There's no doubt about it. It's a card that everybody wants to get on, but only a few are able to feel what it's like to battle one another at Christmas Chaos, the inaugural event in Reality of Wrestling history, predating really the Reality of Wrestling era. This goes back to the Pro Wrestling Alliance days, Booker T's PWA. We want to thank the 423,000 subscribers who are watching all the content with us here on Reality of Wrestling, whether it be Reality of Wrestling, the show itself, or whether it be the Hall of Fame with Booker T and myself. We appreciate the viewership. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that thumbs up button. Let the people know that Reality of Wrestling is out here. This is where you'll find the next generation of talent and a beautiful clothesline from the powerful Zack Mason. Zackzilla showing off his strength. Cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. God, man, Zackzilla really putting it to the professional Brenden Steen here. Steen had a great encounter with Edge Stone previously, and he'd love to get another shot, an opportunity to face him, as was the Mysterious Q, and that's why Q willed himself into that match. Go! There. Takeover. Excuse me, double arm takeover there from Brenden Steen. And now, almost the theme of the night, the wrist tape is coming off.
You can't rest now, huh? You redneck piece of crap! You shut your mouth!
Zack Zilla trying to fight out of this one, doing a good job. Those right hands, almost going for the elbows to the gut. Those right hands looked like they were having some sort of effect on Brenden Steen, at least enough for him to let go of the hold. You got to think in the back of Zack Mason's mind, he really needs to find himself in a singles capacity on this Christmas Chaos event. He needs to find himself to feel validated as an individual competitor, as a singles champion in the reality of wrestling. Shove off, another big clothesline. And there's its twin. That seems to be the bit of offense that's been working for Zack Mason for the entirety of this match. And now there's a belly-to-belly overhead suplex from Zack Zilla. His eyes are almost popping out of his skull. Look at that, rake to the eyes. Making them a target. Slaps to the ears, that's going to throw your equilibrium off. You're going to be able to balance, but it didn't really matter. Zack Zilla, there goes 1, 2, kick out at 2 and 15/16. Incredible there. Awareness from Brenden Steen. I don't know if that was muscle memory or what have you. Somehow finding a way to get a shoulder up when it looked like Zack Mason was in the driver's seat. Over that headbutt, Zack Mason playing a little possum. Oh my goodness, off the top there. Zack Mason, can he capitalize? Oh, Black Thunder Bomb cover 1, 2, 3. Zack Mason is going to Christmas Chaos. And he is going to take on the mysterious Cube. He's going to take on Edge Stone and one other man for that Reality Wrestling Television Championship. That fatal four-way is something to behold, and there's still one more spot to be filled in our main event, but we know Zack Zilla is coming for the gold.
For over 13 years, the King of Solar Screens has been an industry leader, and we proudly use 100% American-made products. Trust the King with your castle. You'll be glad you did.
Now I know you can dig that.
There you have it, Houston.
And here we go with our main event this week on the Reality of Wrestling. Here is the youngest Reality of Wrestling champion in history. He's held that illustrious title on 3 separate occasions. You might know him from around the world, but here he is known as El Campeón, Gino. Gino, who has made the big stage his permanent residence, is looking to solidify his name and his face with a place on the Christmas Chaos 15 card. Gino has been somebody who came into this company under a different moniker years and years ago. As a young teenager, a second-generation performer, his father, the late great El Sanguinario, down in Mexico. He came in here to come under the expert tutelage of Booker T, and he has become his prized pupil. With all that attention, with all that acclaim, came an arrogance that he has carried with him throughout the entirety of his career. It has led him to great successes and some failures. But tonight, He wants to get a shot at that Reality of Wrestling television championship. This is our main event on the Reality of Wrestling. This is the first time we're seeing this man has a name that he carries with him into Reality of Wrestling for his debut, and what a better way to make a debut in the main event of the hottest show in independent sports entertainment programming, the Reality of Wrestling. Wolf has an opportunity to punch his ticket to CC15. A first-time meeting between these two men in a World Gym Arena. Unlike some of the other matches that we saw this evening, we talked about Q and Bryan Keith, who were so familiar with one another, having wrestled one another before, having trained together, having grown up together within this company. This is the opposite of that. This is Gino, who's very confident, very aware of his own abilities, going up against Wolf, who has had great success outside of this company, but has never come to the flagship of Texas Wrestling. And this is where the proving grounds are. If you can make it here, you can make it in the big time, whether that's AEW, whether that's WWE, whether that's any other promotion, New Japan. If you get it done in Reality of Wrestling, and you get that stamp of approval from the Row Nation, it's like New York City. You can make it anywhere. Great early goings here from Wolf, tying Gino up. A wrist lock in deep. Gino getting to the second ropes, making the referee break it up. Great ring awareness there from the former champion. Side headlock there from the Wolf. Now Gino reverses. He is in the driver's seat now. Blowing a kiss to the camera is El Davino Gino. El Intocable, meaning the untouchable. And he has been very much that in his illustrious and young career. The Wolf seemed to be matching him move for move. Great arm drag there. Cover one. Kick out there. Gino trying to get a quick cover. Beautiful. May I say, Ricky Steamboat style. With those beautiful arm drags. And look, went to the well one too many times. Gino, trying to get the advantage. Wolf rolls through. Chop to the chest. Look at that. Aerial acrobatics from the debuting Wolf. Oh, man! Giving Gino everything he's got. I don't think Gino was ready for this kind of offense. Covering up, and look, hesitation, drop kick, 2 feet to the sternum. Cover 1, 2. Gino, great ring awareness and presence, able to get that left boot on the bottom rope. Wolf up top. Oh, and look at that again. The presence of mind that Gino has is uncanny and is second to none. I have never seen somebody in this industry, in my near decade of calling the matches for the reality of wrestling, have I ever seen somebody as smart as Gino when it comes to his in-ring awareness and his in-ring IQ. By any means necessary has always been the motto of Gino, directing Isaac Bouillon to start the count and now stalking down Wolf. Chop to the chest there. Rolling him back in. Going for another cover here. 1, 2, kick out after 2. Rear chin lock here. Now just pulling in at the mouth and the sides of the face. Oh, and a big chop. Oh, and there's a forearm from Wolf to Gino. Gino, Irish whip reversal. House on fire, but catches a left elbow to the side of the dome. Wolf up, nobody home. Nobody home for the inverted moonsault, and he is feeling that. Gino with the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out by Wolf at 2.5. What a series right there. And Gino grabbing the wrist again, control of the wrist. If you can control that arm, you can control the body, and that is what El Intocable is doing. And now squeezing at the ribs with his lower extremities of Gino. And the Wolf is in no position to get to the bottom rope. He's in real trouble here. Turns it into a cover. 1, 2, almost. Gino turns him in. What is he doing? What's he going for here? He's going for a sharpshooter? Wolf is feeling this one. Can't get to the ropes. He's about a foot away. Gino pulls him back into the inside. Rolls through. Wait a minute. Cover. 1, 2. Oh my goodness. Wolf almost getting. Oh. Flying knee right to the face of Gino. That's got to be all cover. 1, 2, and a kick out. A kick out. A kick out from Gino Medina. That move normally flatlines every opponent of Wolf. Snake eyes there from Gino. Discus clothesline, misses from Wolf. Backslide, cover. 1, 2, and a kick out. Ducks the line. 619, nobody's home, and there's that discus clothesline. Shades of Brody Lee. 1, 2, kick out after 2. And yeah, are we in for a fight tonight? Beautiful suplex. Shades of ECW legend Taz with that one. House on fire. Gino, perfect, beautiful snake eyes, rolls through. Oh, with that elevated knee right to the grill. That question mark kick to Wolf, that's probably gonna be it right here. Gino, 1, 2, and a 3, no! Kicking out of that kick, that question mark kick from Gino.
Come on. Get up, Wolf.
And Gino looking at Wolf. Beautiful. Gino looking for it. Scarlet letter. Oh! Into a tilt-a-whirl powerbomb here. Cover 1, 2, and a kick out from Gino after 2.5. That might have been Wolf's last opportunity here, unless he can capitalize with some incredible offense while Gino is still recovering, and I think that is on his mind. What is the Wolf going to do? Up at the top rope. Gino trying to trip him up again. Successful. Oh my goodness, and that's gotta be all. That's gotta be all. Gino, 1, 2, 3. Gino, Edge Stone, Mysterious Q, and Zack Mason will all compete at Christmas Chaos in a fatal 4-way match for the Reality of Wrestling Television Championship. But an incredible main event this week on the Reality of Wrestling. Wolf did a phenomenal job. I hope to see him back in the Reality of Wrestling ring very soon, but it will not be on Christmas Chaos. That spot is reserved for El Intocable, Gino. Well, we know that we are going to see Savage King versus Ryan Davison inside the confines of a steel cage in our main event. And your co-main event for the Reality Wrestling Television Championship, Gino, Edge Stone, Mysterious Q, and Zack Mason. Incredible. And Gino with a sign of respect, and Gino giving him the ring. An unusually classy move from El Campeon. For our director, Kevin Bernhardt, for our executive producers, Hooker T and Charmel Huffman, my name is Brad Gilmore. This is the Reality of Wrestling, and we will see you all in the very next episode.